In America's modern political battlefield, some voices rise quickly, gaining influence among millions, and controversy along the way. One of those voices is Charlie Kirk, the outspoken founder of Turning Point USA. Who is Charlie Kirk? How did he build one of the most influential conservative youth organizations in the country? And why does his name often spark such fierce debate? This is the story of Charlie Kirk, his rise, his movement, and the controversies that surround him. Charlie Kirk was born on October 14, 1993, in the suburbs of Chicago, Illinois. Raised in a middle-class family, Kirk grew up in an environment that encouraged faith, hard work, and traditional values. But unlike many of his peers, Charlie didn't take the traditional college path. In fact, his political journey began in high school when he wrote an essay arguing that liberal bias dominated American classrooms. The essay caught national attention, and suddenly, Kirk, still a teenager, was invited on national news outlets to discuss his views. This early moment would plant the seed for a much larger mission. In 2012, at just 18 years old, Charlie Kirk founded Turning Point USA, a nonprofit organization designed to promote conservative values on college campuses. With little money, no degree, and very few connections, Kirk started small, speaking at student clubs, passing out flyers, and organizing campus events. But Kirk was ambitious. He used social media strategically, framing Turning Point as a counterbalance to what he described as left-wing indoctrination in higher education. Soon, donors began to notice. Turning Point USA grew rapidly, attracting funding from influential conservative backers. By his early 20s, Charlie Kirk had transformed from an unknown teen activist into the head of a multi-million-dollar political organization. Turning Point USA didn't just grow, it exploded. The organization built networks of student activists across hundreds of college campuses. Its conferences drew thousands of young conservatives and some of the biggest names in American politics. Kirk himself became a sought-after speaker, appearing frequently on Fox News, conservative podcasts, and eventually launching his own daily political show. By his mid-20s, Kirk was a recognized name in American conservatism, often praised by supporters as a bold truth-teller and criticized by opponents as a culture war agitator. With rapid growth came heavy scrutiny. Critics accused Turning Point USA of oversimplifying complex issues, promoting divisive rhetoric, and occasionally tolerating extremist views within its activist network. Kirk himself drew controversy for his outspoken stances on issues like immigration, race, and higher education. For his supporters, these were moments of courage, saying what others were afraid to say. But for detractors, they reinforced the idea that Kirk thrived on outrage. Despite criticism, Kirk's influence only grew. Charlie Kirk became more than just a campus activist. He became a key figure in the Republican Party strategy to connect with young voters. He worked closely with high-profile political figures, campaigned during elections, and positioned Turning Point USA as a launching pad for the next generation of conservative leaders. This made him a polarizing figure, celebrated on the right, attacked on the left, but undeniably influential. In recent years, Kirk has expanded his platform beyond student activism. His daily podcast and media appearances reach millions. His books and speeches push a consistent theme, a call for American youth to resist what he frames as leftist dominance in schools, media, and culture. This media presence turned Kirk into more than an organizer. He became a brand, a symbol of youthful conservative activism. So what does Charlie Kirk's rise mean for America's political landscape? For his supporters, he represents a new generation of conservative leadership, unapologetic, media-savvy, and determined to challenge progressive influence in schools and culture. For his critics, he's part of a larger problem, a politics that thrives on division, simplification, and constant culture war. But one thing is certain. From a teenager with an opinion piece to the founder of one of the most powerful youth political organizations in America, Charlie Kirk has become a defining voice of his generation. And love him or hate him, his impact is only growing. This was the story of Charlie Kirk, from suburban Chicago to the front lines of America's political battles. What do you think? Is he a bold voice for conservative youth or a controversial agitator fueling division? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want more in-depth stories about the people shaping politics, culture, and society, make sure to subscribe to Crime and Injustice.